Bad hat, Harry.
U.S. News and World Report knows hospitals. They know about their technology and their quality of care. So when they compared thousands of hospitals across the nation, they ranked Temple University Hospital among the best in our region. In not one, but 12 specialties. Which means when you need a doctor, choose one from a hospital ranked among the best. Temple University Hospital. Call 800-TEMPLE-MED.
Fox 29 News in HD, brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Live from Center City in Philadelphia, this is Fox 29 News at 10.
The rise and fall of a politician, yet another one behaving badly. The controversy over one racy picture sent over Twitter explodes into much more.
I haven't told the truth. And I've done things I deeply regret.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Thomas Drayton. We're going to take you live to New York coming up in about 8 minutes for that story. But first, our other big story. 3,000 layoff notices go out in the Philadelphia School District, but didn't end there. Our Karen Hepp joining us with what turned out to be a very crazy day.
Yeah, it was just a really, really bad day for so many people. These were the worst layoffs in 30 years. 3,024 workers were called in and they had that really awkward conversation. Then the teachers union fights for and wins a temporary injunction for just the teachers. So suddenly 1,523 teachers have their pink slips rescinded, but the bottom line here is they're in limbo right now. Their future is very bleak, and the other guys, they're out of luck.
Michael Farrell is the only special education teacher here at the Science Leadership Academy. He says he's given the place his heart and soul.
It was really hard to kind of have that layoff notice in hand today and to be looking at the students and seeing some of the parents in and out of the building today that I formed relationships with for the whole past year, and knowing that that might, that I'm not going to be seeing them in the fall and that a new person's going to come in and have to start, from the ground up.
Right in the middle of layoffs, union leaders raced to City Hall, filing motions, getting an emergency hearing in this courtroom, arguing layoffs must be done on seniority. Teachers from Promise Academies can't be spared, so the whole process has to be stopped. Well, a judge agreed and granted them a hearing on the 14th.
I think that it was totally reprehensible, the manner in which they were given to teachers in schools while they were teaching, and for a great many teachers, their emotions were just very, very high, and they cried, and children had to see them crying.
More than 1,500 teachers were told they were goners. Now suddenly they're spared because of the union victory. But many feel this temporary reprieve just delays the inevitable.
It's emotionally, it's kind of unstable now. Hearing that and getting this letter today, and what's going to come out tomorrow, and just trying to figure out what's next and what to do personally next.
So the teachers are in limbo, but it is very clear for the other staff, the other 1,500 people, the secretaries, the nurses, the aides, they're done. At the end of the month, they're done. Pack your desk. You're going to be out of there. The district calls this the beginning of a very dark week and is hoping that the city comes through with some money to restore some of the programs and positions, Thomas.
Yeah, they have until July 1st. Can you imagine that emotional roller coaster today? You're told you're being laid off, and then now you have to wait another 2 weeks?
And probably just to be laid off again. It's very frustrating. So they have that hearing. It's coming up a week from Tuesday.
It's quite something. I want to talk about this right here. Karen Hepp, thank you. We'll see you in just a moment. Just when you thought things couldn't be more of a mess for the Philadelphia School District comes this cover from the Daily News. Have you seen it? It implies Superintendent Arlene Ackerman needs more oversight, or as the paper calls it, adult supervision. Ouch. Mayor Michael Nutter wants to play a part in that oversight. He sent a 9-page letter to the School Reform Commission demanding information about the way the district does its business. In that letter, Mayor Michael Nutter demands several things from the SRC. He wants a list of non-union employees making more than $90,000 a year, as well as a list of all teachers and principals on the payroll who are not assigned to a school. The mayor also wants a list of vendor contracts and other detailed financial information like car allowances, and he wants to make sure the city plays an active role in the school district's operations. The mayor was reportedly angry about being left out of the loop by Superintendent Arlene Ackerman when she got approval to use federal Title I money to save full-day kindergarten. The mayor had just proposed raising taxes to save kindergarten.
If, I could do it again, certainly I would want to, I wouldn't want to do anything that would make this mayor doubt that we are partners. But in the end, we made 14,000 families very happy. 14,000 families who vote, and I hope will remember that we were able to save full-day kindergarten.
Technically, maybe one problem has maybe been solved, but I can assure you, unfortunately, that another problem has just opened up, and we don't even know what that problem is. So we just need to kind of bring it all together. We need a much more coordinated approach and effort, and that's all I'm really seeking to accomplish here.
All right, so full-day kindergarten may be saved, but the district still faces a deficit of more than $600 million. The question here, would you drink a beer or do a shot to help get some of that money for students and teachers? Our Chris O'Connell live in Old City tonight. This is an idea that's actually being floated around.
Yeah, Ed Thomas, it's long been a complaint of Philly bar patrons that the bars just close too early at 2 o'clock in the morning. We're at Max Tavern here tonight. It's an idea that's actually gathering some traction here at Max and all over city, allowing bars to stay open till 3 o'clock in the morning. But don't worry, it's for the kids. Closing time. Sipping that martini, chugging that beer, or tasting that wine could soon mean big help for Philly public schools.
It's worth exploring.
Councilwoman Blondell Reynolds Brown may soon draft legislation to allow city bars to stay open until 3 a.m. instead of 2, with the extra hour of city tax revenue going to public schools.
I think people would be attracted more to the city from a nightlife perspective.
Joe Beckham, who owns Alpha American Tavern on Walnut Street, says later closing times is what customers have been asking for.
I think the patrons would enjoy it, and I mean certainly it would make a difference to our bottom line as well.
Bar patrons, not surprisingly, like the idea of drinking to help schools.
I think that's a lot better than raising my property tax.
Philly is notorious for having like an early liquor law, and I think that it would definitely reap a lot of benefits to stay open that extra hour.
See cities like New York, 4 o'clock. People are still looking for a place to go afterwards. The sidewalks roll up a little bit too early anyway. Why not if it's going to support the school?
Reynolds Brown read about the idea in the newspaper. She can't say yet how much revenue it would mean, but in a time of dire financial needs, every idea is on the table. She says the plan already has high marks on an informal Facebook poll.
When we know that there's not an appetite for raising taxes in the traditional way, then it behooves us to look at other unexplored avenues.
And keep in mind, this would be in addition to that 10% per drink liquor levy that is already put on bar owners and customers here. But this is an idea that's gathering steam. You know, Thomas, they're trying to think of all ideas to pump more money into schools.
Sounds like a good idea. I mean, so bar owners are for it. There wouldn't be any extra expenses for them?
No, it's just a matter of staying open an extra hour earlier, extra hour later. It's just all that revenue. The tax of that revenue that comes in that extra hour would be what goes to the schools. But for them, bar owners are loving it. It's going to make them more money. Customers are going to be happier.
Oh, you can just see all the people spilling out into the street like those two right there at 3 a.m. in the morning. Chris O'Connell reporting tonight. Chris, thank you. Pennsylvania Governor Tom Corbett was in our area today speaking to the first graduates at Boys Latin Charter School. 80 students received diplomas today. Governor Corbett called them the founders of their school, but said their greatest accomplishments lie ahead.
Being a productive citizen, a working citizen, is to play as great a role in our country as a warrior. This nation we built on hard work and calloused hands.
Boys Latin opened in 2007 to fierce opposition. Critics said it was unfair for the rigorous curriculum to be offered to boys only. But supporters say the school will help close Philadelphia's gender achievement gap. Karen.
All right, Thomas. Well, in New York, accused former IMF leader Dominic Strauss-Kahn was arraigned in court today, and you can listen to this. He got an earful. What you're hearing is a large crowd of New York hotel maids jeering him both before and after all the proceedings. He pleaded not guilty to charges of raping a cleaning woman in his $3,000 a night suite.